Ernesto Ernie Maceda is no newbie to politics. His experience in the Senate is, perhaps, unparalleled if one were to look at the present crop of senatorial candidates. So what else is there to know about Ernie Maceda? Find out on Inquest Vote 2013.
Is there or are there things during your long service as a legislator that actually that you experience that help you mold to what you are today?
Well, what I am today was actually molded ever since I was in college. Because I ran for campus politics. I was elected president of the student council, etc., etc. And then I was studied hard, worked hard. I came out valedictorian and all that stuff. So actually, my actual molding was in college.
Do you have any role models that you look up to, or people who have inspired you to?
Well, frankly speaking, when I was in law school, I used to have Marcos as my role model because
Ferdinand Marcos.
Yeah, because every law student is impressed by the fact that he reviewed in jail and he topped the bar. Now, when it comes to my public life, of course, like many others, I admire the Kennedys. First of all, I admire their family closeness and all of that. And of course, the intelligence of John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and all, Edward Kennedy. So they are in effect the role models that could be called sons, although not strictly.
If you were not a politician, sir, what would you have become?
I would have chosen to become a doctor.
A doctor?
Yes.
Okay.
And I guess in a sense I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor of political diseases.
You make us laugh. What makes you laugh, sir?
Very hard to make me laugh because I can see all the problems and I'm always depressed and dismayed by what I see. So there's really no reason to laugh in these days.
So in your moments of probably frustrations or disappointments, how do you cope?
Well, I watch a lot of sports events on TV, NBA, or golf, especially when Tiger Woods is playing. That's part of my relaxation.
Napag-usapan before na nagpa-stem cell treatment kayo.
Yes.
For the campaign, were you feeling...
Partly for the campaign, yes. And the fact that I have been able to go through the campaign, and well, I was able to handle it. I didn't get sick. I didn't even get a cold. But again, what I try to do even when I'm in the campaign is either sleep into my car to have an air-conditioned place where I can rest. Or if usually naman after lunch, the motorcade start at 3 or 4. So I look for a nearby hotel to check into and I try to get a 1-hour nap.
Sir, you were... Your image actually has been known as Mr. Expose.
Yes.
Has there been any attempt during your tenure as a legislator to actually do a makeover of this image or probably tone down?
No. To give you another answer, I've received many death threats, but after a while, I just disregarded them and I delivered 200 exposés. I have authored or co-authored about 600 laws. I delivered 200 exposés. I've been in public office for 54 years, and I have held, more than anybody else, 43 government positions. I don't think anybody else can equal my record. The only position that I have not actually held is to be a member of the judiciary. Everywhere I go, people, especially lawyers, remind me that I have the Maceda law. It is a law which provides protection to real estate buyers. You know, not all senators have a law named after them. So for you to have a law name after you,
Yes.
and it's being studied in the law schools, is some sort of an exceptional achievement.
In making laws, which rules you most? You more, your head or your heart?
Making laws has to be your head.
Okay.
Yes.
And in actually making tough decisions, do you go more by principles or facts?
You have to go by facts to begin with, and then
Okay.
after that you apply your principles.
Actually, when you are considering filing bills, who do you consult? Aside, of course, from
Well,
those
in all the
close,
bills that I have
aides,
filed, again, this is due to my long experience of 54 years. I think that 3/4 or 75% of the bills are filed are my own thinking and my own creation.
Okay.
The other 25% are bills that are lobbied for, or people come to you and say, we have this problem, we need this solution. Of the bills that are sent to you, they only look at it from their viewpoint. But every bill has two sides to it. When you look at it from the other side, you will see many times that it is not implementable.
Sir, you talked earlier about the time being right for you to run again for public office. Can you describe what makes this time right for Ernesto Maceda?
The
to
general complaint that the quality of the Senate needs to be improved.
You've been, as you said, in public service for more than 5 decades.
Yes,
And you've been a Senate President.
yes.
Can you describe probably what the difference was in your time as Senate President to the time of the current Senate
Well,
now?
principally the budget during our time was not that big. It was something like 500 or 600 million pesos for the
Okay.
entire Senate.
Uh-huh.
Now it's close to 3 billion.
Wow.
And that's why they have so much excess, they have so much savings, and that's why that issue came up.
What about the discussions, the agreements, the debates, so-called, on bills?
Well, the general impression is if you go further back, the better, the higher the quality of debates. And as you go nearer to the present time, it seems to be, or it seems to people, that the quality is declining.
Okay. Would you attribute this to the quality of senators now serving?
Of course, almost automatically. If you have good senators, you have good debates. If you have silent senators, you have no debate.
So, all those years of public service, can you describe to us, sir, what a good legislator is? And
Well, a good legislator first must attend the session. So, like me, I have perfect attendance. If you have
Okay.
perfect attendance, almost automatically you'll be involved in all the aspects of legislation. Number two, you must have a lot of experience and knowledge and intelligence to be able to discuss the, well, over one Congress, that is 3 years, you probably have to discuss 5,000 to 6,000 bills.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't have that extensive background, you probably just be very selective, and you cannot be good enough to involve yourself in the debate in all the bills that are presented on the floor. Thirdly, you must study.
Okay.
And of course, if you have much experience or years of experience, the less research and the less study you have to make, but you still have to study. And part of the study process is by attending the committee hearings. Most senators, except for the committees they chair, hardly attend the committee hearings. In my case, I attend as many as 5 or 6 committee hearings a day, shifting from one conference room to another.
What about the changes in the administration, so to speak? The
Well,
EDSA revolution.
it seemed that I was fated that through all the administrations, with the exception of during the time of Marcos, I'm usually in the opposition. And I think I can shine more as a expose person, as a fiscalizer and an independent senator, because that's one thing that you have to look for in a senator. Hindi pwede na papadala ka sa Senado ng isang senator na walang gagawin kundi yes sir ng yes sir sa presidente.
Yeah,
You
so-
need the Senate exercise the power of check and balance on the president.
That's basically the image of an opposition senator
Yeah.
as a fiscalizer.
Yeah.
But what will make you agree with the president?
Well, again, it's a matter of your analyzing whether his policy or decision is correct. Let's put it this way. If we put it in percentage-wise, I think with all presidents, the Senate will agree with 60%, and the Senate will disagree and fiscalize 40%.
But would you specify on what particular factors or criteria would you agree or would you disagree?
Well, it depends on your analysis of whether the decision is right or wrong.
So, okay, sir, of all the more than 600 laws that you've actually authored or co-authored, if given a chance to serve again as a senator, what would be the first, probably the top
Well,
three priority bills that you will actually...
The first three bills I will author. Number one, a master plan to create 3 million jobs. That's how many people are employed. It can be done. I know how to do it.
Okay.
Secondly, no tuition for all state colleges and universities. Expand the scholarships for private school and universities. How do we do that? By giving them a double tax deduction. Every businessman who contributes to a scholarship fund should get a bigger tax deduction to motivate him to do it. The third would be the legislation to expand senior citizens benefits some more.
Yeah.
Meaning to say prices have gone up, medicine has gone up, so the 20% must be increased to 30%. And secondly, Makati is the prime example. They have monthly allowances. This should be done nationwide. In the same way as the government has been able to implement a CCT program, 1,400 a month, then there's no reason why they cannot give the same amount to senior citizens who are more deserving and in need of assistance. So those are the first three bills.
Sir, Una has been criticized before for its so-called gimmicks, dancing and singing. You've danced in some of the campaign rallies.
For the last 1,000 years and for the next 1,000 years, you'll have dancing and singing in political rallies. It's not really a new gimmick. It's not a gimmick. Because, for example, you have a lineup of 12, plus you have the mayor, the governor. If you have, let's say, 15 successive speeches and you have no intermission, people will get bored. People will walk up. The usual guideline is every 3 speakers you have the dancing or you have intermission or singing or you have a comedian team. So it will always be part, the same as in the U.S. or everywhere. Entertainment is part of the overall political campaign strategy.